One guy, you feel.
Okay.
Oh no, Oga.
Dabi.
Feel.
I made up my mind not to learn it. I think because of how I made up my mind, I saw, and the people I was interacting with when I came to Accra, I saw the language as very violent. Please speak it.
So, what will you say the Ghana people didn't do to project their language?
I think because of their accommodative nature, right? It's overtook their language.
My name is Nia. What's your name?
My name is Christopher.
And my name is Enoch Inson.
This guy is so name Papa. No, actually, Enoch Inson.
Okay.
So, Ofe vlog. So, what about you, Ega? I'm coming to teach you Ghana.
Me Ghanaian.
And on my series of speaker, today my guest is Christopher, aka Christopher Columbus. So,
one guy, you feel.
okay. Mabibo Sani, I'll ask you a question, then you give me an answer. Okay. So, first of all, introduce yourself.
Actually, me, Christopher.
Okay. Ning me fan OJ.
Say Ufrihin. OJ. So say Mije. Inje or say Mije or say. So
is it Mije or AJ?
AJ Achimota.
Me asking where my hometown, where I'm
Yes,
from.
where exactly you are from?
Okay. Inje or Mije? Is it Mije or Inje? Mije. Okay. Mije. The boy say ke agona wasa.
Let's say few.
Okay, so how long have you been in Accra?
Oh. I don't know Canada.
No, the guy you can't flow. So.
You are
okay.
Me
Yo, afia abo enye oye yega. Hello, afia abo enye ohinga.
Afi ten. How do you say 10? Numa. Yes, what?
Afi
Numa. Yeah. Gami.
Okay. He's fussy. Okay, so many Kabo Baga.
Say waiting bring you come Accra.
Let's see if
National service.
National service. National service Kabo Baga. Ni Okayaga. Oh yeah, no.
National service Kemin Baga.
Awula bibi o. Eloki.
Jo, edachi ayo ko ke duku fine ni. Na ya dey ka.
Dabi. Me will be break up me.
So
Awula.
Ohinga afi nyuma. Okay. Ningme poten ohinyega.
Oh.
What is Ohin? What is the meaning of Ohin?
Where exactly did you live in Ghana?
Okay. La. Come back. Come back as a last commission. La.
La ningme fa poten.
La mami police station area.
Okay, so no hinga onuoga.
Dabi.
Few.
Mokoni ke nunga ewie guy.
So say me ba na meeting kan na.
Say he found kan na out.
Be say me train say la ba la he.
Police station.
Me be say me kan la ba because na omo pe la ba.
It's not la ba.
I know mo pe la ba.
It's not called la ba. I'll tell you later.
La.
I'll tell you the story later.
La for mo ye bad.
I saw me bad when stop.
So like as now, do you speak like do you
few like people when you talk, I can understand.
So rating yourself like as a 7 over 10.
Over 10,
0.000.
maybe like 4.
Yeah. Okay, I mean
4 over 10.
4. Are you sure 4 over 10?
Like not speaking, no.
I said speaking. I said speaking.
Oh, speaking there, like 0.1.
0.1. Okay, so why is it that you've been in Accra for 10 years and you can't speak Ga?
Okay.
But do you hear?
By being here,
Do you hear the language?
I understand when people are talking about.
You can't insult us.
Yeah, I understand.
How many percentage?
Like if on an average, like 7. 7 over 10.
If you
are catching.
Okay. So why is it that you can't speak?
Actually,
what's the reason?
I made up my mind not to learn it.
So why did you make your mind not to learn it?
Okay. I love languages.
Okay.
And I have a lot of Ghanaian friends, and they are very gentle. They are not rough, you know. They are, let me use, for want of a better word, culture. Let me put it that way. But then, where I went to live, the experience I had there with the Ghanaian people was not. I was ejected in 6 months. I rented for 2 years, but they ejected me after 6 months, exactly on the 6th month, and it was not a pleasant experience for me. So living with them, I was eating with them. Like, these are people that they are not family at all. But then
you cope with them.
I cope like I can. I was teaching their children all English and those things, like their kids. I was teaching them those things. But then the way
they treated you.
Yeah.
So how did they receive you at first when you came?
Okay, receiving. I went there under pressure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was
desperately
in need of a place to stay, and actually where I was put temporarily was not a pleasant place to be at all.
Oh, so you have to move.
No, like it was the same compound house.
Oh, okay.
But my place, where the room I was moving into, someone was in it. But the woman took my money and then didn't give me the room and gave me some back place where it's like a store. They've dumped a lot of things there. That was what I was doing.
So that's why you decided not to learn the language?
The experience took the learning of the language from my mind. Even though I have like a lot of good Ghanaian people and Ghanaian friends, I didn't make up my mind to learn it. But then I listened more. I didn't engage in speaking. I listened more, and I would ask, what's the meaning of this? What's the meaning of that? What's the meaning of what's the meaning of that? Until like when someone is talking, I can just understand. I can pick the conversation,
the
understanding from the conversation, and not be like listening to everything they are saying. Yeah.
But do you think the Ghanaian language itself, is it difficult?
I think because of how I made up my mind, I saw, and the people I was interacting with when I came to Accra, I saw the language as very violent.
Why did you see it as like violent?
Yeah, when they are interacting with themselves, violent in such that's like it's not what they are saying, maybe in their actions. You know, yeah. What? Yeah, like those things. Like, meanwhile, you ask for the meaning of what they are saying, and they are just asking, "Oh, how are you?"
Well,
just normal conversation, but like the actions behind the word is like they're almost back World War III.
So that scared you?
It scared me, Charlie. I was like, if the actions behind the word is so dangerous like this now. How can I learn such a language?
So what's your general perception about the Ghan language itself?
Ghan language. I like languages. You know, I learned French in school. Just that.
Did you learn Ghan in school too?
No.
Because you didn't school in Accra?
No, I schooled in Western region.
Okay.
Yeah. And in my hometown we speak Wasa. It's an Akan language. But it's different from Fanti.
Okay, yeah.
But it's still Akan, like those Akan languages. When you go to Takrady people speak Ahanta.
Hanta.
Right. When you go into Axim, they speak Nzima. But then, because of the Fanti mix in the whole of Western region, you find that when you move to Takrady, there is a mixture of the Fanti. There's a kind of Fanti that they speak that is different from Cape Coast.
Okay.
You see, Cape Coast, they speak the written Fanti. Essie, like Essie Ibanadze. When you come to Takrady, what's Abadi? You see, you know that so there is. When I went to DSCS from Dabuasi we speak Wasa. What's it then? It's Wasa, right? Even with that one, the Wasa in Impoho is different from the Wasa in Dabuasi. The Wasa in Dabuasi is mixed with Fanti. When you go to Impoho, then you hear Benoma Beko Bembra. Benko to Bensori. But when you go to Dabuasi, 1 hour on 1 bra. Oh, you see, you hear more wo. When you go to Impoho, you hear be. Okay, I get you.
So
when I went Takrady, I picked up the Fanti in Takrady because I was eager to learn and mix with the flow of how Takrady. But when I came to Accra, and so I had a shock with language.
How where you stay?
Yes.
Your experience.
Yes, I had a serious shock. I went to Kumasi for university until I came to Accra. So when I came to Accra, I had that language shock. So anything
Actually, like
the actions behind it, that just having a conversation, but it's like it becoming violent. But the guns that I knew as friends were not like that.
Oh, okay.
You know, they were not like that. Like they're cool. If you are speaking the language, it's nice that you want to learn it. Yeah, but then when I came to Accra proper and I had the shock, I was like, hey.
So, what you said concerning the Takrady people, blah blah, they learning their language and thing. Now let's come back to Greater Accra. Greater Accra, it's a Ghanaian region, right? But we have a lot of, or let me say now, Chi is dominating in Greater Accra.
Yeah.
What will you say as compared to other regions that they have their own language? What will you say concerning Greater Accra?
If like Accra is predominantly Ga, I think I would have been forced to learn the language. But then because when I came, you know, I could speak English with anybody, speak Akan or Fanti, or if Fanti cry, like the moment you start speaking Fanti, someone just begin to notice where you are from. Like they see you as a comedian. See, but when you start speaking Twi, and then you have people to speak Twi with them, I mean, you can speak with anybody, including the Ga person in Twi, and be okay. So there was no extra push for me to learn the language and fit in. Imagine like I've been to the north before, you know, where Konkomba, you know, you need a translator. If I lived there, I will be forced to learn the language because they don't understand what I'll be saying. See? But Accra is like Obia Krum, you see. So if I come out, I will have someone who is speaking Chi. Everybody is speaking Chi.
So what will you say the Ghan people didn't do to project their language?
I think because of their accommodative nature, right? It's overtook their language.
What do you mean by that?
When you welcome everyone into your, I'm not saying they should not be welcoming, but you welcome everybody to the extent that you even learn the other people's language so that you can communicate with them, right? So if the other people's people come and you can speak their language, there will be no need for them to pick up yours, because they already, communication is complete. When I say something, you can respond to me, you know. So why would I leave that and come and like seriously learn your language? Because I mean, there will be no need for it, you understand. But if I came here and everywhere I go, the Ga is being spoken, like me kota dia Ga, me foka Ga, obian can't make us like you kind of saying that's what the whites do when they come and they want to flow in our language.
Wow.
You see.
Okay, my next question to you: what would be your best advice for the people of Ghana in Greater Accra?
I think that if
as in promoting their language,
I think that if you want to, it's good you have an attitude to learn other people's language. I think that there has to be a conscious effort to also teach the other person, right? Because you might not know what the person may go to another place to encounter. For example, let's say that I come to Accra fresh. The people of my community, everybody speaking Ga, and I'm forced to learn Ga, right? And I can flow with any person in Ga, and I go to another place in the same Greater Accra, and then I meet people there. And they say I can't speak their language, but I meet one person that can speak Ga. Automatically, that's where the friendship starts. It strikes the friendship bar, and you begin to flow in that language. So, if there is that conscious effort in as much as speaking other people's language to also pass on yours, it makes it easier, you know. In some of the Ghana communities, when you go, some of them can't speak the Akan well, you see. But if it's been consciously passed on and taught to others, and then I go into such communities to do anything, I can fully flow and not be trying to like speak in tree and what I'm going to do cry will not work well.
Wow.
You might not get the information that you want from the people well. So that's if I have any advice for the Ghana folks, what I would say is that teach others as you are learning from them too. Don't leave yours and then go and learn other people's own, and then yours is like it's being overshadowed. I heard on radio some other time that they are not playing a lot of Ghana songs.
Abladi abi video and wafio nyenu shishini engonyena. Inye nkala yuega because ega minche ni ega ebekron ona. Wo asan wo chakeke ablofo. Koni enye eyuye ni wo fen wo nu shishin. Ewo nye iradon aka enye babi eni nyenkwe wo. Inna gbesa ne bi morning ke haleji. So my last question to you, what would you advise on we as Ghanaians speaking our own local language? What would you say?
First and foremost, when you go to, let me just give this analogy. When you go to China, everything is taught in Chinese, including English. I've not been there before, but those who have been there say that is why when foreigners go to China, Ghanaians especially, they are made to learn the language for a period before they even start their programs. Why? In your language is your culture. And if you fail to pass on that, you've left your identity. And also your language is your identity. So what we have done as Ghanaians is left our identity, take someone's identity. Actually, I'm speaking in someone's tongue. Mutumakafanti, Makama or Makomado Demeka. Ebia, Obia, Onoso, Onsi Mikasa. Osande Bibia, Dam Infonin, Infonin. You see? So if the moment I begin to speak in my native language, you identify and know where I'm coming from. You see? But if I leave that and speak other people's languages, I'm picking their identity, I'm picking their culture, I'm picking so many things that are in their languages. So as Ghanaians, what we have failed to do is to pass on our identity, especially to our younger generation. There are people like young kids who can't speak one word of any Ghanaian language. They go to international schools, speak, in Ghana. They go to schools and all they are actually, we are forbidden in schools to not speak our language. Why? Because they want us to learn English. They say, do not speak. They actually punish you, strip you for speaking vernacular. Meanwhile, if I can speak my native language well, actually what it does is that it opens my understanding to even learn the English well, understand it better. But we don't do that. We don't do that. So that has cost us a lot. And if we can unlearn that, we'll get to a better place.
Wow. So if we can unlearn that, we'll get to a better place. So sorry for keeping you guys. I know the video is a little bit longer, but thank you for watching. You know, asani wogan wiemo no ni wohani me konkume ni ebahinga ameka se gan wiemo ni wohani wogan wiemo afemini atishi ni ha wo wiaga ne wo ofe channel na ni wo ke promote ka e wo nyeradon nyeke inshakia me ake wonye wo wiega mi but wo wie blofo mi e ja ke monike yo enoga e ga mi che nye wiega tamo so asawo wie blofo mi nye Mofia manu wa shishi. Onye radon ake nyekwe wo channel ne. Koken kleno ba bia kanu yekpa no subscribe. Be konklen ka another video. Baba nyekbe no. Videos no small ma fear ke fear comment mo. Yeah, comment section e hamale. Nke la kan video se baba. Nye radon be konklen ba pe. Ngbe di ni ayin ganyu bi. So say something, your final words in your language to people watching us.
Enenyanum.
Ejata. Ejata.
Enyanum ayeshim.
Ne adofono.
Ewa YouTube asori den. Obiara orisham. Mesrahwan. Wambo modzana. Now one subscribe. And when the fancy foodie, yeti, fancy brofun, yet mix. One subscribe. Now one like. Now one comment. Oh no, so here subscribing. One jiska. Subscribe.
They said fancies are known to be comedian. How true or false is it?
Oh, we have a lot of humor. Fanciful, yenyim pastoral, welcome pastoral. Ochede, yenyim most ma woyi pastoral manyim panin watji. Nti obane nyija, owo yen krom fanti. Owo yen krom fanti. Yeah.
All right. Okay.